This is the story of Kit Kat and the mysterious time machine. Now, Kit Kat was a black cat who lived in a tiny village in India. And she says, "Hello everyone, my name is Kit Kat. Nice to meet you. Can you all say hello to Kit Kat? Just do not unmute yourself, just say hi. And quickly mute yourself, okay? Now, Kit Kat was a very cheerful and a friendly cat, and she loved making new friends. But the village she lived was very quiet. There were not many people or animals around, which made her feel very, very lonely. She would sometimes think, maybe I could head to the city and find some new friends. So one day she decided that she will go to a new place, a new city, and there she will find new friends. But when she came to the city, there were a lot of things she did not expect. But she was really excited. The moment she came to the city, she saw big buildings. There were so many vehicles and there were so many people. She got excited and she said, "Oh, I'm gonna make so many friends here." But the city was not at all what she had imagined. The too many cars were always honking. And the worst of all was that no animal wanted to be her friend. But the most worst thing was that the humans were very, very not nice. They would always shoo her away. And since Kit Kat was new to the city, there was no proper food for her. She would always have to go to the garbage bins to eat her food. And there was no water to drink. In the village, people would keep pools of water for her outside. But in the village, there was no water. So she was forced to drink from the road, the dirty puddled waters, which made her very, very sad. But she was still very determined to make new friends. So she decided to approach a dog. And she said, "Hello there." But the dog got too angry. He said, "Grrr, she doesn't even know how to wag her tail. She's even afraid of water. I do not want to be your friend. Go away." That scared Kit Kat a lot. She got so frightened that she ran away. And she thought, "Oh my God, no friends, no dog or cat want to be my friend here. I thought the city would be a lovely place, but I'm afraid I'm wrong." She thought this was the bad thing to have happened to her. But unfortunately, there was something worse in store for her. When she started walking on the road, sometimes humans would point at her and say, "Go away, we do not want to hear." And they will tell their children to not go and pet her. One of the days, some kid crossing the road, they looked at Kit Kat and they say, "It's the ugly black cat, we must stay away." And his friend said, "Yes, my grandma said black cats crossing your path is very unlucky. Let's go away." Hearing that, Kit Kat felt really, really sad. And she wondered, why am I considered unlucky? Is it just because I have black fur? Does that make me unlucky? Is that why humans don't like me? So she went to a jungle, she sat down and started crying. She thought maybe nobody would ever be my friend again. But just then, she saw a tiny little girl approaching her. She said, "Oh, poor kitty, you look so lonely. My name is Khushi. Why do you look so sad?" This was the first time ever since coming to the city that someone has shown Kit Kat some kindness. And the girl started rubbing her chins, which made her a little bit happy. So the cat said, "Hello, Khushi. My name is Kit Kat. I came to the city to make some new friends. I thought the big city would have a lot of wonderful people, but I was so wrong. Everyone here hates me. They call me unlucky. They do not even want to be near me. Some of the little kids even run away from me. I wonder why did they do that? Khushi said, "Well, that's so unfair. You are so adorable. Why would people call you unlucky? This shouldn't have happened to you, but why? I wonder why would people do that?" And both of them sat down to think about it. Just then, a loud bang came near the place. They heard a loud bang. And when they turned around, there was a lot of puffy. It was cloudy. And among the cloud emerged a wizard. He said, "Hello, Kit Kat and Khushi. I am a wizard, and my name is Catasaur." Khushi and Kit Kat were surprised to see him. They have never seen a wizard in their entire life. And the wizard said, "I heard you talking to each other. I've been listening to your conversation. I think it's time to solve the mystery about why people think black cats are unlucky. We will learn some secrets along the way," he said. "Oh, this looks very exciting. Let's go on a time travel and find the secrets, Kit Kat." And Kit Kat said, "Yes, let's go. But for that, they would need the help of all the children listening to the story. So for the time machine to work, I want every one of you to stand up. Since I can't see the screen, I will need Vasanti ma'am's help. I want every one of you to stand up and
stop sharing for a moment.
Okay, I could also stop sharing for a moment and come back to here. I want every one of you to stand up and quickly spin 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then quickly spin 2 times clockwise, the opposite way. 1, 2, and done. Now we go back to the story. Quickly sit down so we know what's happening next. Now, with the help of a wizard and the children who were listening to the story, they arrived at the first location. Now, I want some of you to unmute yourself and guess which country we have landed to.
This is Egypt.
Egypt.
Egypt, power of
Okay. All right. Now, I want every one of you to quickly mute yourself. Quickly mute yourself. By the time I count to 3 to 1, quickly mute yourself. 3,
Mexico.
2.
Mexico.
Have you all muted yourself? If you're not muting, I will not continue the story. Quickly. 3, 2, 1. Let's say if you're right. We have actually arrived to ancient Egypt, as you all have guessed it. Now, when they arrived on the time machine, this is ancient Egypt 4,000 years ago. When Khushi looked at the pyramids in the place, she said, "Wow, look at this place." And Kit Kat was also very excited to see, "Oh my God, I've never seen pyramids up close." "Now, why are we here, Mr. Catasaur?" Now, Catasaur explained that in ancient Egypt, around 4,000 years ago, there lived a goddess called Bastet. She was the daughter of the sun god. She was also the protector of women, children, and cats. She was worshipped in the form of a lioness and later as a cat, because cats were considered lucky in Egypt. This puzzled Khushi. She wondered, but why were cats considered lucky in Egypt? He said, "I will answer, but before that we will visit the place where the goddess used to live." This is how the modern statue of the goddess looks like. And then he answered, "I will tell you the secret, but you have to listen very carefully. In In ancient Egypt, cats were worshipped because they protected the treasure and fruit granaries in the dungeons, which were the most important thing. They played a very important part keeping the food and the treasure safe. Hearing this, Khushi said, yes, cats are very lucky to have around. Let's go on our next adventure. But before that, hearing that cats were considered as lucky, Kit Kat was very happy. And her eyes sparkled and she says, oh, so cats are very lucky. And Catasaur said, exactly. Now before we go on our next adventure, we need to solve a cat password. For that, I would need the help of the children listening to the story. Now the question is, which part of the body did Egyptians remove after the cat passed away? Now the answer is, they would remove their eyebrows. Now, on to we go to our next adventure. Before that, Khushi says, I didn't know that. So where are we going next? The Catasaur says, take a wild guess. And on we go to our time machine. I want every one of you to quickly spin 3 times. Can you all quickly spin 3 times so we can get into the time machine? 3 times clockwise, 2 times anti-clockwise. So I cannot see you, so I'm hoping that you're all doing it. So I'm going to take Vasanti myself. Are they all doing it, ma'am?
Yes, they're all doing
it. Okay, quickly sit down so that we can find out where are we going next. Now, our next stop happens to be this country. Anyone want to take a guess?
Japan.
We have come. Yes, we have come to Japan. Now I want every one of you to quickly mute yourself in 3, 2, 1. The time machine landed and we have come to Japan, ancient Japan, and it's the year 1883. The moment they landed, they see a shrine with statues. And Khushi says, oh look, there's a shrine with a cat statue. And Kit Kat runs towards the statue to check. Oh, that's right, that is indeed a cat statue. Mr. Catasaur says, that's right. Some shrines were located in town where silk was made. Silk was very important for Japan because it was traded with other countries. But making silk had a big problem. Can you all guess what the problem was? They had big mice coming to ruin the silk. And Khushi said, mice? Why would mice ruin the silk? And Catasaur said, yes, mice would eat the silk threads and ruin everything. But cats, like Kit Kat's ancestor, were heroes because they kept the mice away. That's why some shrines have cat statues to honor them. Now Kit Kat was so proud to hear that and she said, wow, my ancestors were very helpful. But then Catasaur grew very serious and he said, but there's something that you should know. He said that silk is actually made by boiling silkworms alive. That is right before they become butterfly, all the worms go into this tiny body that covers them. But we take those bodies and we boil them alive, which hurt the silkworm a lot and it is very cruel. That's why it's better to choose clothes made without silk, like cotton or other fabrics that doesn't harm these animals. Khushi was horrified to learn that these tiny insects were boiled alive just to make saris and silk cloths. And she said, oh, I didn't know that. I'll make sure to choose clothes that are kinder to animals and I will never buy silk. Catasaur was happy to hear that. And he said, and then Catasaur said, Do you have any idea? Can you guess why the restaurants in Japan have statues with a cat waving the left paw calling the customers? And Hoshi got excited because she knew the answer, and she says, I know, that is the beckoning cat. They bring loyalty and luck to the restaurants and cafes, and they are considered as lucky charm. And Hoshi said, Kit Kat, maybe you're my lucky charm. And Kit Kat was very happy to hear that. She says, haha, maybe I am. Now let's go to the next place. Now Catasaur was ready to go to the next place, but he said, before that, we have to solve a password. Now, the question is, cats sweat from which part of the body? Paws.
Yes.
They sweat from their paws.
Yes.
Darling, paws. They sweat from their paws. Yes. Now mute yourself quickly so that we can go to the next adventure. Now, we all have to, the Hoshi asks, now that we have solved the password, where are we going next? Catasaur said, take a wild guess. And they quickly got into the time machine. Now quickly all of you get up and spin 3 times. 3 times clockwise, 2 times anti-clockwise. Again, I have to rely on Vasanthi ma'am.
Yes, all are spinning.
Alright, now sit down in 3, 2, 1. And we have arrived
Germany.
different country. Does anyone want to take a guess which country is this?
Germany. Ukraine.
Mom, Germany.
Ukraine?
Germany.
Nobody's saying the right answers. It is not Germany and it is not Ukraine. France?
Vietnam.
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
To find out the answer, we will have to mute ourselves in 3. Mute yourselves in 3, 2. I will not move forward until you all mute yourself. Mute yourselves in 3, 2, and 1. To find out the right answer, we landed in Romania. We landed in a dark and spooky looking forest in Transylvania, which is located in Romania. It was evening when they landed in Romania. Kit Kat said, this place gives me the creeps. Catasaur said, don't worry, we are here to learn not to be scared. As they were walking towards an old graveyard, Catasaur explained, in Romania, it is believed that if a cat jumps over a grave of a person, he or she would turn into a vampire. Kit Kat eyes widen. Vampire? Is that for real? Is it true? What do you all think? Is it true? Do you think if a cat jumps over a grave, they would turn into a vampire?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Vampires don't exist.
Vampires don't exist. That's exactly what Khushi said. Yes. So Kit Kat said vampires? That's not true, is it? Khushi said, but Catasaur, cats and vampires are not real. And Catasaur explained, you are absolutely right, Khushi. This is just a superstition. Unfortunately, such beliefs can harm cats. People who believe in these myths might treat cats very badly, thinking they bring bad luck or danger. And then Khushi asked, but that's so unfair. Cats are just like us. They want love and kindness. Catasaur replied, and that's why we should never believe in wrong superstition that hurts animals or humans. We should always treat them with love and respect, because every creature deserves respect and care. Got it, Khushi replied. Now where are we going next? Khushi and Kit Kat arrived in Iceland, a land of snow and volcanoes. The air was very crisp and everything was blanketed in white. Wow, it's so beautiful here, Khushi said. I think I liked India better, shivered Kit Kat. Caterpillar smiled and he said, we are here to learn about an Icelandic story which involves cats. He pointed at a picture of a giant black cat on a building and he said, this, in Icelandic lore, a giant black cat hunts children on Christmas Eve if they don't wear new clothes. That is called a Yule cat, a creature. And if during Christmas the children do not wear new clothes, the giant cat will come and eat those children. Do you all think it's true?
Excuse me, ma'am, but how she enters the house?
No.
She's a giant black cat with magic. She can enter anywhere, just like Santa Claus.
Not true.
That's not true. Not
Do
true.
you think it's true? Do you think this story is true?
No, it's false. False.
No, false.
Okay, to find out, we all have to mute yourselves in 3, 2, and if I still hear anyone, I will not continue the story. Mute yourself quickly in 3, 2, and 1.
మాకు ఇప్పుడు ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్ అవుతుంది అందుకు
Darling, please mute yourself.
Ma'am, you are on mute.
Ma'am, you are in mute. Ma'am, you are
Okay, I've
on
been
mute.
unmuted. The rest of you will have to stay on mute if you want me to continue the story, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Let's go on to the next adventure. Now, Khushi asked, whoa, is that really true, Catasaur? Catasaur replied, not at all. This is just a tale to encourage kids to behave well. If you're good, you get new clothes for Christmas. But if you misbehave, well, the story says the giant cat will come and eat you. Now Kit Kat tilted her head and she said, why do people make such scary stories about cats, Catasaur? Then Catasaur replied, sometimes people use animals in stories to teach lessons or scare others into behaving. But over the time, these stories created false beliefs, like cats being dangerous or unlucky. But that is not true. This is why it's so important to learn the truth and love all animals equally. Khushi nodded her head and she said, I'm so glad we've been learning the truth about cats. They've always been helpful and loving. Now speaking of truth, Catasaur asked Khushi, so Khushi, now you know the secret of cat's life. What would you like to do now? Khushi said, I think I'd like to adopt Kit Kat and debunk some myths, Mr. Catasaur. Let's go back to India. This made Catasaur very happy. He laughed and said, ha, let's go back home. Now you know what to do, everyone, to go back home. I will count and you will have to do it. 1 and 2 and 3 and then 2 and 1. Are you all back on your seats? Vasanti ma'am, are they back on the seats?
Yes, they are back.
Alright. Now when they arrived back in India, Khushi took Kit Kat to her home. She adopted her and gave her a warm, cozy place to live. But Khushi did not stop there. She went around her neighborhood gathering all the children and telling them what she has learned. She said, listen everyone, I just went on an amazing adventure with a magical wizard named Catasaur. And my new adopted cat, Kit Kat. He taught me some truth about cats. She told them about how cats were worshipped in Egypt, helped protect the silk in Japan, how wrong superstitions have spread in places like Romania and Iceland. And she said, Cats are not unlucky or dangerous. They're just like us, helpful and loving. So let's stop believing in superstitions and treat them with love and kindness. The children clapped their hands and they were very excited to learn about all of the journeys Kit Kat, Mr. Catasaur and Khushi had. And slowly they started petting Kit Kat. And they went to Kit Kat and say, "Kit Kat, hold up! We want to be friends with you." Hearing that, Kit Kat was so happy. She could not believe the children who were afraid of her, who were running away from her, have now come back to be friends with her after learning the truth. All the children started playing with Kit Kat, but they did not stop there. Soon, other children followed Khushi's example and they adopted more cats and dogs, giving them homes to live with love and care.